Raising your self-concept and valuing yourself more is not a trite manifestation technique. This is the undoing of generations of unconscious programming against your own inherent self-worth, programming against self-love, and programming against self-acceptance that, like a virus in a computer program, has been infecting this time-space reality for centuries. The universe is always reflecting back to you like a giant mirror hologram, the way that you see yourself, the value that you see within yourself, your self-concept, or how you feel about yourself, the beliefs that you hold about yourself, reflects into all aspects and areas of your life. It is the foundation of how your reality projects. Self-concept can be defined as how you see the avatar that you are within this reality. And the avatar that you are embodying in this reality is the base starting point for how your reality projects. This belief in how you see yourself, how much you value yourself, reflects, ripples out everywhere. And these ripples come back to you in the form of the amount of money you make, the types of relationships you experience, your physical surroundings, etc. These are all reflections of your self-concept and your self-worth. What you feel that you deserve, what you feel that you are worthy of, is what you will receive. It is what will be reflected back to you. When I get the occasional glimpse into who I was, my perspective, before I came into this particular experience, I remember looking down on Earth and feeling this great sense of compassion for humanity. Compassion for how you have been programmed against your own inherent self-worth. Unfortunately, a lot of us have been programmed and taught that we aren't good enough as we are right now, that we need to strive to become more and achieve these milestones of success that are presented to us as what is right, good, and a symbol of a happy life. We have been sold this template, right? This symbol of what a happy, successful life looks like. And if you achieve these things, if you have this relationship, if you have children, if you achieve this certain template of living, making this certain amount of money, this will make you happy. All of this programming at the expense of your own inherent self-worth. We're all being programmed into this illusion of needing something outside of ourselves so that we are good enough, so that we are worthy. I'm sure you have heard this before, that we have been programmed to be consumers, right? That we have been shown this illusion that our self-worth comes from what we own, the type of house that we have, the type of relationship that we have, all these externals, right? We have been shown this reflection so that we are inspired to consume, right? You guys have heard this before. This is nothing new, but it evokes a lot of compassion for humanity, right? Almost like the blinders have been put on you in terms of your own inherent self-worth that you have and you possess no matter what you achieve or do in your life. And this type of thinking and this consumer comparison programming that we're fed contributes a lot to the lack of self-worth or the lack of seeing one's value, which then translates into your own self-concept, how you see yourself. And then this translates into being blocked from abundance and wealth. And it just starts a cycle that keeps on going, right? Because you want the abundance and wealth to feel better, but because you have a self-concept that says that you're not worthy without the abundance and the wealth, your self-concept of not being worthy of the abundance and the wealth is blocking you from the abundance and the wealth, right? So it's really just a cycle, a hamster wheel that we're all on here. You are always picking up on vibrations and energies that exist around you. You are a conscious creator within a co-creation reality that existed before you consciously projected your energy into this reality. So not every thought that you experience in this reality is your thought. Not everything that you see in this reality is your influence. So when you watch that TV show or you look at that person's Instagram profile and suddenly you feel bad about yourself, yes, this energy is hitting up against a wound that already exists in you, likely a generational wound of lack of inherent self-worth. Otherwise, you couldn't be a match to seeing that thing. But also, I need you to ask yourself, is this outside projection attempting in some way to program me further against my own inherent self-worth? Is it influencing me to strive for or become something more so that I am worthy? If the answer is yes, then those thoughts and feelings that you are having, that feeling of not being good enough, that feeling of being less than, that energy, those thoughts that you feel after you see the projection may not actually be your thoughts. They may be a thought frequency, a thought form that exists outside of you, within that projection in the simulation hologram. It may be a part of this virus that exists currently in humanity, this I am not good enough virus. This exists in our psyche and is passed down through generations. And this triggering projection that you are witnessing, because it is bringing up these I am not good enough thoughts within you, means that the individuals involved in the creation of that projection are vibrating at that same frequency. So what I am telling you here is that the person who stars in the reality show or projects a perfect life on Instagram, the one that is making you feel bad about yourself, is also creating this triggering avatar also based on the vibration of not feeling good enough about themselves. Their feelings of not feeling good enough about themselves was the catalyst for them to create this avatar that is now also making you feel not good enough about yourself. yourself. So it's a mirror, right? So in order for you guys to match and line up and experience each other in this time-space reality, you must both be on that same frequency of not feeling good enough. So this is what I mean when I say it's like a virus spreading. It is an actual virus spreading through humanity in the exact same way that a virus would spread through a computer. The exact same way. So they have this virus, right, of low self-worth. They're infected with it because of generational consumer programming. And so they strive to portray a picture of themselves, of having a perfect life, or make themselves look a certain way. They project this avatar out into the world so that they can feel good enough. They are creating this life so that they can feel good enough, right? They think when you see this, when you see how they look, or you see what they have, it will make them feel good enough. But they're creating it from the vibration of not feeling good enough about themselves. So then when someone else sees this, they're going to pick up on the already existing frequency of the person involved in this creation of this avatar, the portrayal of this avatar. And they are going to feel less than about themselves. But it is not their thoughts. They are not actually less than. They are perceiving a thought form, a virus of having a low self-worth, of feeling not good enough, that is radiating from this other avatar that they are witnessing. And so that avatar is then triggering within them the generational wounds of consumer programming that you're not good enough without buying whatever. And then they start to think that they aren't good enough unless they become this avatar that is being projected to them. So then they feel like they need to have this lifestyle, or they need to look like this person so that they're good enough. And they think that these thoughts are coming from what they actually want in life, but it's not. It's coming from this virus of low self-worth, this energy that's spreading from person to person. So my take on this whole thing is that it's a virus that's spreading through the simulation that we're living in. So I wanted to make you guys aware of that one. And to me, I look at this and I find this to be a very dangerous virus. And why is that? Because it has reached a point where people are willing to literally destroy the planet that they're living on through overconsumption of goods and needing more and more, bigger houses, better cars, more clothes, more and more and more. This overconsumption that is caused by this virus of having a low self-worth and not knowing your inherent value is causing people to overconsume in service of proving that they are good enough, in service of proving that they are worthy at the expense of the planet that they're living on. So do you see how this is a dangerous virus? It's a dangerous virus. It's a dangerous game. So that's why when manifestation coaches are telling you about self-concept and it appears like it is a straight manifestation technique, it is not. It is very important that you understand your own inherent self-worth through your own self-concept in order to essentially assist in saving the planet. So these people are completely unaware of what they're doing, right? When they're keeping up with their neighbors, when they're trying to compete with so-and-so to look better than the person next to them, they are completely unaware of what they are doing. And they are also completely unaware of their own inherent self-worth. They are unaware that what they are seeking already exists within them, because through this virus, they are being programmed not to look at their own inherent self-worth and instead externalize their self-worth. The time-space reality that you are currently experiencing here on planet Earth cannot and never will be an accurate representation of your inherent self-worth, of your actual worth as a being. I don't care if you are a millionaire in the perfect marriage with the perfect family. Even this picture of a template that we would consider a happy and successful life is not an accurate representation of the value of the people that are living out that projection. The value of the people in this projection is actually so much more infinite than even the value that they're getting from this perfect, happy life. Their value is more than that. It's infinitely more than that. The value of you is more than that. It's infinitely more than that. Your self-worth, the value that you actually have, the value of your energy is not even able to be translated into terms or amounts or words that make sense in this physical reality. It's so much greater than that. It's infinite. So to compare yourself to something within this physical reality and use that to judge whether or not you're good enough is inaccurate. It's always inaccurate. Even if you're the best, it's still inaccurate. It's still less than what you actually are. So not every thought is yours. We live in a soup of thoughts and everything is connected. The past, present, and future exist simultaneously in a quantum soup, right? You are always being influenced by all of the energies around you. So you can only attract wealth, money, and abundance that is equal to your own inherent self-worth. And so how much you believe you are worth is how much you can attract. Again, because this is a law of attraction, law of mirroring time-space reality. The value that you have for yourself is directly correlated to the value, the money, and abundance that the 3D reality will reflect back to you. So if you're trying to manifest more money and wealth, then the quickest, most effective way to do this is to focus on increasing your own inherent value, your own inherent self-worth. It would be to alter your self-concept to be the self-concept of somebody who values themselves more. So the secret hack to attracting wealth and abundance in the 3D reality is your own value relative to yourself. We need to become aware of this unconscious programming that is within all of us that is blocking us from our own inherent self-worth. And we need to consciously change it with our thoughts, feelings, and actions. These worthiness issues, this feeling of not being good enough, is a huge and common abundance and money block. If you are watching this video, then it is very likely that your limiting beliefs around your own worthiness, your own inherent value, are the main block that is keeping you from experiencing the wealth and abundance that you desire. And you are being called to release this limiting belief, release this block, so that you can hit your next level of manifestation, the next level of your desired reality. So if you're feeling blocked or stuck relative to manifesting money, it is very likely that you are dealing with a self-worth block, that the self-concept that you are carrying is not a match to the self-concept of somebody who is worthy of having the money that you want or the love that you want. Some of the behaviors or thought patterns that could be blocking your abundance is seeking approval from other people that you consider to have a normal and happy life, engaging in thoughts and actions that go against the vibration of valuing yourself, convincing people to treat you differently, chasing love and admiration from others, not taking care of yourself, not taking care of your physical health, your mental health, or your spiritual health, thinking you will be fulfilled or happy permanently once you reach a specific milestone or achievement. This isn't about not wanting more for ourselves, or not wanting to make money, or not wanting to have goals. This is a very positive thing to desire something, to desire a certain amount of wealth, and to line up with that desire. But it is when the achievement of that desire becomes tied to your own inherent self-worth that this process can actually become a detriment to manifesting the life that you want. Because the energy or the intention, the why you are going in the direction of this desire in the first place, will also manifest along with the original desire. So this discordant vibration of needing to achieve this so that you are good enough can delay or distort your manifestation in some way. These situations in your life that are making you feel less than, these situations where you are feeling inadequate or not good enough, this is a mirror that is showing you the value that you have relative to yourself. And often it is showing you where you do not value yourself enough. I recommend challenging yourself for the next 21 days, asking yourself these questions so that you can start the process of reprogramming your self-concept to hold higher amounts of self-worth and self-love. And this will result in bringing more money, abundance, wealth, and love into your life. What can I do today to value myself more? How can I value myself more in this moment or this situation? Am I valuing myself in this moment? Is this action or decision valuing or devaluing myself? Is what I am doing now in my best interest? So I recommend that you ask yourself these questions throughout the day or whenever you are feeling triggered into the vibration of not being good enough. You are worthy of everything that you desire. The only reason that you would ever believe that you need to achieve or become something in order to become good enough to be worthy of your desire is because you received programming from outside forces. These forces are representative of certain belief structures that have been passed down through generations of humanity, and we cannot separate ourselves from these forces. I am not here to tell you that these forces are wrong or bad or evil or tell you to push them away. That is not the answer. The answer for us is to change these belief systems within ourselves, because once this inherited programming is changed within our own avatar, our own self-concept, then the new changed belief must be what is reflected back to you. And the timeline and the reality that you are lining up with and shifting into must now align with this new belief. It is not your fault that you were born into this time-space reality with this pervasive programming against your own inherent self-worth. However, if you are watching this video, there is likely a part of you that felt so much compassion for the pain that comes from this type of programming against your own self-worth that you have decided to become part of the shift in consciousness to transform this pain into its highest potential, which is the radical and unconditional love for yourself. The universe is rooting for you the same way that you are watching a movie and you are rooting for the main character to win, or you are rooting for them to get the love that they want. In this same way, the universe is rooting for you. So you are meant to get what you want. You are meant to achieve the life that you want, and your own inherent worth is already worthy of all of this. And when you change the beliefs of your avatar, your self-concept, to line up with this inherent self-worth that already exists within your being, the love, money, and abundance will flow to you like magic. And if you like this video and you want to learn some more practical ways that you can manifest money into your life, check out my video here. This 6-step manifestation technique will make you rich. In this video, I will show you a manifestation technique that you can use to turn your passions and your own inherent gifts into a whole lot of money.